This is Pet Life Radio. Let's talk pets.
Welcome to ER Vet on Pet Life Radio. I'm your host, Dr. Justine Lee, and I'm an emergency critical care veterinary specialist and toxicologist. Thanks for joining us. Today, I'm really excited to be speaking with Dr. Vicki Thayer, who's all things feline expert on what you need to know about keeping your cat healthy and happy. We'll be right back after these messages. I'm your host, Dr. Justine Lee. I'd like to tell you about Natural Farm all-natural dog chews and bones, made from sustainably sourced ingredients and produced and lab tested in their factory in Brazil. Natural Farm has some new exciting products, including stuffed collagen sticks in 3 different flavors: Bully Stick, Peanut Butter and Chicken, Power Bully Sticks made from beef cheek and pizzle, and peanut butter flavor collagen sticks. Your dog will love them. Go to naturalfarmpet.com and save 15% off with code ERVET15.
Let's Talk Pets on PetLifeRadio.com.
Welcome back to Pet Life Radio ER Vet. Today, I'm really excited to introduce Dr. Vicki Thayer, who is a diplomat of the American Board of Veterinary Practice in Feline Medicine. And I'm super excited to introduce her today because we're going to be talking about how to keep your cat or cats healthy in your household. Dr. Vicki, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here.
Do you mind just giving us a little bit of an intro of who you are, where you've trained, and what you do right now?
Certainly. I am as you mentioned, a feline specialist. I have been essentially in feline practice since 1979, so quite a while. I am retired now, but I still am very active in supporting and helping in the feline world, doing, assisting with guidelines with the American Association of Feline Practitioners, and then also a co-chair of different committees at Every Cat Health Foundation on education, and then also scientific review, which is reviewing research proposals for funding. And I have 3 kitties. I'm a huge cat lover and have been for many years. I don't know what I do without having a kitty in my life. So big cat lover.
Me too. And I only have 1 right now, but I will say I'm often surprised that veterinary professionals even don't know the best environment to set up for their own cats or their feline patients. So before we begin, I wanted to ask about cat-friendly households. What advice do you have when it comes to keeping your household cat-friendly? What are some must-dos you have to do at home?
Well, I think for many kitties, it's really trying to, consider and we're learning more about having this healthy feline environment. And AFP has come out, it's the 10th anniversary of, feline friendly handling guidelines, and then also, environmental friendly guidelines for kitties. And they have 5 pillars that they like to look at to make cats happy at home. And I think a lot of that is having certainly good resources of, having different water stations or clean, fresh water available for each cat, sometimes in different multiple areas of the house. Certainly feeding stations too, and they don't always have to be right next to the water. Litter box areas farther away, certainly out of traffic areas where cats are quiet and comfortable. Kitties also like to have environmental areas or enrichment of higher areas to perch. So taller cat trees. There are oftentimes ledges or window seats, keeping them entertained. Certainly my cats try and find during the day. They try and find their little hidey holes that they feel very secure and comfortable in, and will go and perch up on the cat trees. So you want to try and have different things like that available to where they're comfortable and they feel like they're secure, no threats around them. And you also want during the day to spend time with interaction, petting, talking with them, doing this comfortably and slowly, sometimes doing play. Cats like to do their predatory play with cat toys. Chasing little treats is oftentimes like trying to capture a mouse and catch it and bring it back. My cats, I don't know if I know a cat, certainly none of mine have been not loving of boxes or even sometimes suitcases, to be in. So I think that getting them used to things of that nature is very important, makes them very relaxed. And you also want, if you are taking your cat out in, say, like a car or to the veterinarian, talk with your veterinarian, no question, and find the best kind of cat carrier that you can watch a cat from the potentially top or have them be able to come out through the top and opening out through the front. And lots of towels, comfort there, maybe even little food treats. There are cat pheromones that can be patted around, in a cat carrier, but you want to find a cat carrier that'll be comfortable for them to travel in. The veterinarian can find a lot more ease at trying to work with your cat and examine them at the best and quietest way at the veterinary hospital. And so what's also good in a cat environment is to have that carrier, once you determine it, keep it out, maybe in a quiet spot, covered a little bit itself, and let the cat go in, eat some treats, be comfortable there and used to going in and out of the carrier. And then they'll be less alarmed and concerned when you do need to take them in the carrier to the veterinarian or in the car.
Now, where I got schooled was making sure that we have enough environmental enrichment for each cat in the household. And I personally love the information at the Ohio State University website, specifically for dogs versus cats, for setting up that appropriate environmental enrichment. The one thing I didn't realize I was making as a mistake as a veterinarian was putting my cat's litter box. And trust me, I have the right number of litter boxes, the right type of litter. I scoop it neurotically. But what I didn't realize was I put a HEPA air filter in that room and it's on a timer. And if it turns on suddenly, or if that litter box is right next to a water heater or something that can turn on randomly, that noise can really scare your cat. So again, make sure you're doing all these things that can really provide the right environmental enrichment. Another mistake I made in my very young veterinary career, 25 plus years ago, was putting the cat food and the water in the same room as the litter box. And, in retrospect, we don't eat in the bathroom, or at least we shouldn't eat in the bathroom. So making sure that we're keeping this out of reach, putting it in a different area. Any other tips you have when it comes to that environmental enrichment inside?
Oh, I think, you covered a number of very good points. I think also cats are, they definitely live by their senses, and, the hearing as far as the noise and equipment or anything being turned on can startle them. Their sense of smell is very acute. And so you want to be very cautious about trying to use something that's a very strong odor around them, spraying, too much strong scented, maybe floral. I've known of instances where sometimes like hairspray, real strong hairspray or perfume, things like that can be very alarming for them. So try and pay attention to their environment and what may tend to startle them or maybe even make them look like they're subdued or intimidated. So pay attention to the smells in the area, and anything noxious or certainly can detract and oftentimes make them not too much around a litter box, may make them want to not use the litter box too. And these are important points that veterinarians have to pay attention to when the cat visits a veterinary hospital.
Now, when it comes to a couple of things that are out there that help keep the clinic more cat friendly or your home more cat friendly, you already brought up some great ideas in terms of resources, making sure we have the right number of litter boxes, making sure, when I mentioned not putting it by any sound, making sure their kitchen area isn't in the bathroom area. What about play and predatory behavior? We know cats normally do like to have play and predatory behavior. What can we do as pet owners to encourage that?
Well, certainly kitties love their toys. I think they're, at least in my household, they're oftentimes a bit different on the types that they like, but they do like to chase, toys, the little poles with oftentimes either kitty mice or feathers. You can, tend to toss those out and wiggle them around. And a lot of kitties like to go and chase those or something sparkly. What you want to be sure is, again, cats are predators, and when they're out hunting, they like to catch their prey. And so you want them to not feel frustrated and unhappy. So you want them to be able to, catch the toys or their prey. There are oftentimes other scenarios where you can put up cubes in the house and cats will wander and go through there. Tossing little treats, always a huge number. If they have a weight issue, you don't want them to get too heavy with too many treats, but I'm starting to put out, versus my usual twice a day treats, a little more treats at different times just to get them adjusted and used to me giving them something and encourage them. That way I can get them to want to take a treat inside a carrier, or if I have to take them somewhere that I know that they tend to like that and will be happy and know that they don't need to be stressed or nervous about it. So there are a lot of different toys. Some don't require anything too expensive. They just like things that kind of roll out there and they can go chase and bat around. Just remember to sometimes switch it up, because cats play for a while and then they just go off and tend to forget that. And so you may want to try something different and on another time or another day. I do know one executive director of a cat shelter that she's doing different type of setups, different tunnels, different things over time, just to kind of give some environmental enrichment to her little Sphinx kitty. And he enjoys going through and learning and doing something different. So I think having things like that available can be very beneficial for them.
The toxicologist and the emergency vet in me has to say, when you pick good cat toys, please make sure they don't have any long stringy things that your cat can swallow. So while I use a feather on a stick with a string, I always make sure that my cat's not chewing on that string. And it could be something as simple as, like, some people will bring in balloons that are helium with those long ribbons. Your cat likes to chew that up. And those can be linear foreign bodies, which we've talked about before. Your cat's going to be so curious. They're going to want to chew on that string or that ribbon, or, old school tape cassettes for people who used to have those, or dental floss. So always make sure, if you are making sure that you have good playtime and predatory behavior time, you're not using anything long and stringy. That can, again, wrap around the base of the tongue. Sometimes it wraps around the stomach, and it continues to pass through the intestinal tract through contractions, and it can actually slice through and perforate the intestines. And that's a huge, expensive surgical emergency. We're talking several thousand. So when in doubt, make sure there are cat-friendly toys that are out there. All right, let's take a short commercial break, and we'll be right back after these messages.
How many of you have pets? My hand's raised. Now think about how lucky you are to have such a sweet little pet in your life, and that pet is lucky to have you too. But unfortunately, there are countless pets out there that don't have a home to call their own. However, Bob's from Skechers is trying to change that. So we developed Bob's for dogs and cats to help pets in need. With every purchase of adorable Bob's footwear or fun, stylish apparel, or even the cutest Bob's pet accessories, Skechers makes a donation to Petco Love to help save shelter pets. And with your help, we've already saved the lives of over 1 million pets and raised over $7 million. So while you're getting style and comfort with features like Skechers' famous memory foam cushioning, you're also helping to save an adorable pet in need and helping another lucky owner be connected with a future best friend and companion. Because happiness is having a loving pet by your side. Find Bob's at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, select Petco locations, or wherever stylish footwear is sold.
Let's talk pets
Let's talk pets
on Pet Life Radio.
Pet Life Radio.
PetLifeRadio.com.
Welcome to ER Vet on Pet Life Radio. We've been talking with Dr. Vicki Thayer about what we can do to keep our cats healthier and happier in the household. We've talked about making sure that we're providing appropriate environmental enrichment, the right number of litter boxes, that we're allowing them play and predatory behavior time. Now, last few things I wanted to ask you about. Do cats actually like to socialize with humans? And what can we do to make sure that the social interactions with humans are good for the cat?
I do believe they definitely do like to, socialize with us. And I think you have to work with each individual cat in knowing quite how to do it. Two of my younger cats, one's a Havana Brown, and he wants to always be with you on your shoulder, on your lap. And so, he loves to have lots of socialization. Other cats are probably, you want to do it calmly, quietly, offer, again, some treats or just petting, just talking, but do it slowly, calmly, and where they feel comfortable and where they don't feel like you're kind of encroaching too far on their space or keeping them. If they are a cat that tends to be a little shyer, let them feel like they have an ability to kind of escape or move away or find another spot, and then just try again. But it's really a case of just going slow, tailoring what you're doing to that particular individual cat. And I think that you'll find that they almost always do at least want to be with us, want to spend time with us. And they certainly, I think, at least for my cats, pattern a lot of their routine around ours, too. So they love living with us. It's just what level each individual cat has, in the household.
And last question I wanted to ask you, when it comes to a cat-friendly household, I wanted to ask you about a cat's sense of smell. Is it as good as a dog's? And I know you already mentioned fragrance. What should we do? Should we minimize air fresheners? What do we have to worry about? Should we be using dust-free litter? Do you have any last hints that you can leave us that can keep our household being more cat-friendly?
I would definitely, again, strong odors, the air fresheners, anything with a strong odor like that, cleaning supplies, cleaning use, trying to avoid anything with a strong smell because they do have a very acute sense of smell. Oftentimes they recommend not really cleaning everything. Let the cat have their ability to smell where they've been, their own bedding. That makes them feel comfortable. I would look at those situations for them. And I'm sure most people will tend to pick that up. And the other thing I would probably mention is that AFP and the International Society of Feline Medicine out of the UK will be coming out with updated environmental and interaction type guidelines later this fall. And so there'll be new information, I believe, for veterinarians, for caregivers, for cat owners. So there'll be a lot more that we can learn about this wonderful species.
Any last tips that you implement in your own feline-friendly household as a veterinarian that you want all cat owners out there doing?
Again, I think that kind of keeping things, seeing what they enjoy, what they like, and putting out, again, boxes, suitcases, spending a little time, giving them their treats and quiet time. Those all have been very important. And I find myself sometimes talking to them. The conversations are in the households are oftentimes to the cat than maybe to other people. So I think they tend to enjoy that. So enjoy your kitty, talk with them, and give them different playtime and things to do that interest them.
Thank you so much. And thanks for all that you do to help make our cats healthier and happier out there.
Thank you.
Well, that brings me to the end of today's show. Find me at drjustinelee.com, on Facebook or Instagram at Dr. Justine Lee, or email me your cat questions and your dog questions at drjustine@petliferadio.com. With that, we're out of time, and we would like to thank our guests, Dr. Vicki Thayer and Mark Winter, our producer, for making this show possible. See you at the next episode.
Let's Talk Pets, every week on demand, only on PetLifeRadio.com.